Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. I wanted to start off by giving a quick update on the tank. So if you guys recalled, I just wanted to kind of add more onto what the pito crabs have done for me from reef cleaners. So if you look at the bubble algae, there still is some on the rocks, but that number has cut by like at least 80%. So overall, they have been doing a really great job at cleaning up the bubble algae, and I'm pretty happy with the purchase. It's for sure the best thing I've bought for bubble algae so far, and I would definitely recommend them. So thumbs up from me. Next, if you guys recalled from the last video, I started getting like a kind of like a mat on my sand bed. And initially, I did think it was cyano, and I wasn't too worried because cyano kind of comes and goes inside a reef tank. But I noticed that after a few days, it started getting kind of bad. And I guess one characteristic that led me into thinking that it wasn't cyano was that even after the lights were out, this like stringy, thick, I'm not gonna say like algae, but mat of whatever it was still like thriving even after the lights were off. So I was like, okay, I think this might possibly be dinos. So I was looking into it, and I did fight dinos before in my 20-gallon. If you guys remembered, like probably like maybe a year ago, towards the end of that tank. But one characteristic that kind of comes with dinos is that it has bubbles. So I noticed that the dinos I was getting inside this tank didn't have bubbles. So that's why I was kind of confused on if it was cyano or dinos. So I ordered a microscope off of Amazon really cheap. For how much I bought it for, maybe like 20 bucks for the Prime Day deal. I actually looked into it, and I'll probably put some footage up right now. Really cool stuff. So you can see, it's kind of like hard to tell like what you're looking at, but if you look online and you see the different types of dinos, then you can see that whatever you see on a microscope right now is for sure dinos. So I've never tried a UV before, and I wasn't sure if this type of dinos was immune to UV. I think the smaller types of dinos is, but I guess I had the bigger one because I initially saw the UV. I picked one up from a local reefer for like 60 bucks. It was the Aqua Violet 15 watt. He sold the unit for 15 bucks. Really good, or sorry, not 15, 60 bucks. Really good deal. All I had to do was replace the UV bulb. I actually called like 7 places around Dallas, and none of them carried that bulb. But luckily, there was one fish store that did, and that was like the last one I called. So thankfully, they had one. So I hooked it up to my tank, and I kid you not, within 2 days, the dinos like completely died off. It's probably one of the best reef-related purchases I've ever made from a tank. And overall, I'm very happy in this. I definitely run UV in the future because even though there are some benefits, I guess I was always a believer that if it was able to kill like bad stuff, it probably killed off some good stuff too. But maybe the trade-off is just better. So yeah, after that UV purchase, the dinos died within maybe 2-3 days, and everything's looking great. So there are still like a little bit, maybe on the back wall. It's really hard to see now because it died down so much. But yeah, the UV has been awesome. So I gotta show you guys here. I have it hooked up in the back. Luckily, I did have a pump for one of my sorry, turn up the brightness. For one of my carbon reactors, so I kind of just hooked it up to that UV. And I had it in the front because I couldn't fit it on the side. But I finally did some rewiring, got it to be on the back. So yeah, there's that. And it is a little loud, I'm not gonna lie. It does put a lot of water, so I've kind of put it above the little sponge here. Cuts down the noise a little bit, and overall, really good purchase, and I'm not complaining at all. So for those of you that are also battling dinos, I might recommend you try out UV to see if that helps. So now with the tank, I'm getting like a greens. I'm not sure if you guys can see it here. It's kind of like a green slime that kind of covers the rock. Maybe some kind of green cyano. I don't really think it's algae per se, but overall, I'd rather take that over bubble algae and dinos. Okay, so for corals, a lot of my torches have been doing not so hot, because of the, I'm pretty sure it's because of the alk spike from last time. So I'll try to maybe show you guys a better video. But a lot of the torches, the flesh band has really receded a lot. And it's kind of like showing skeleton. I mean, they are thriving. You can see like the polyps are out. But the flesh is just like not there anymore. And you can definitely see it in this one back here. So I'm hoping that as long as I keep things stable, those will recover. But in the past, I found that whenever things start receding, especially like the euphilia and the frimbophilia, it's like it doesn't go too well. So I had like that big Aussie torch I kept for like a year. That thing finally kicked the bucket. I should have knocked on wood because I was like, wow, you know, I've been keeping that thing alive, and it just kicked the bucket the other day. So that one's gone now. Hammers are looking a lot better, I would say. Surprisingly, after the UV, I kid you not. I don't know what happened. My hammers are looking a little bit fluffier. Maybe not this one. And the spider hammer over here is actually getting some color, and it looks a lot better after UV. So I don't know what about UV like led to like my hammers thriving a bit more, but it has recently. So in terms of acro, things are still a little bit browned out, and the alk spike definitely did not help things. I'm planning to sell that big one hopefully over the weekend, so it looks kind of awkward right there. But yeah, things have really browned out from that huge alkalinity spike. But everything else has been doing okay. Oh, and I did have so here's one of my chalices. I did have another one over here. It's a BCP flamethrower. That one receded a lot, and I have inside my nano tank now, seeing if it could come back. So after putting it in here, it has definitely slowed down the receding, so I'm probably going to keep it in here long term. It's been a while since y'all seen this tank. Not much has been going on. I did have a different vision with like 8 cans. I really wanted to do like a nano tank with 8 cans and mushrooms, but I haven't had the time to really put too much into this tank. But yeah, so far things are, I'm going to say thriving, but they're doing okay for how much effort I put into that tank. Alright, so back to the main tank. Here you can really see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about how like the flesh band has really receded. So you can see there around like the, I guess the base of the coral, you see a lot of skeleton. And that's, I think all my torches are pretty much like that now, except for the big green one I have, which I would say the polyps are just not as extended, but that dragon tamer I have in the back is doing really well. That was probably the one that's doing the best. All the other torches have definitely seen some side of a recession. And yeah, so that's about it for the tank. Just wanted to do a quick update on that, fighting off dinos. UV being one of the best purchases I've ever made. Probably I'll put that under an auto top off.
Alright, so I totally forgot about my red dragon acro. I don't know how it slipped my mind. But basically one day in the middle of the night, it just started to RTN. This was whenever around the same time the dinos was getting really bad inside of my tank. Yeah, really sad. I grew this colony from like probably maybe a third of the size of this, so fragged what I could. The little frags didn't make it, so I lost this whole like little mini colony. Really sad about it because really like the smooth skin acros, and yeah, it's a special place in my heart.
I also did install my auto feeder again, trying to train the fish back on pellets because in October I'll be like leaving the country for 2 weeks, so I'm hoping the feeder and I guess maybe my girlfriend will come every few days to feed the fish, hoping that will cover everything they need. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I tried to rehome my Coral Beauty, not for any reason. Doesn't really nip at coral. I did see it cleaning some algae off of coral, but I just wanted to rehome the Coral Beauty, so I tried catching it over the past week. I spent 2 hours on the tank, and to no luck did I catch that fish. It was just like, I guess the way I have the tank set up with the aquascape, it was able to slip through the cracks, and yeah, just no luck. So I was pretty disappointed. In the past, what I would do is I would take the tank lid and I would drop it into the tank to kind of like section off one tank, or one half of the tank. But here I do have the middle overflow box, and I didn't want to go through the pain of taking off my lights to just capture that fish. So I guess that core beauty is gonna stay in this tank until I remove it. But what eventually happened was it led to I think the fish got kind of stressed. So like within the next few days, I noticed that the core beauty, that red wrasse actually right there, and my my royal grandma, they started developing some ick spots, and it got like really bad. I was actually getting a little worried for the fish. So the clownfish weren't affected, my tangs weren't really affected, and the mandarins. So those guys weren't really affected, but only a few select hand. But thanks to UV, I mean, they fought that off within like, I kid you not, like 3 days. So it was pretty impressive. And I find that typically with ick, it's not as fatal as you think. As long as the fish is eating and they look pretty healthy, then they'll most likely survive. So yeah, there's an update to that. In here, I can show you guys my spotted mandarin that I got back maybe like a month or 2 ago. And you can definitely see how fat this guy has gotten. Thank God, he has definitely revived, and I, for sure, this is one of those rescue fish that I was able to save from the LFS. And I haven't seen any fighting with that spotted mandarin and my blue-green male mandarin. They've been pretty cool, and it's like big bro and little bro. So yeah, there's a little update on that, and that's about it. Oh, and I guess I'll put that guy back up. Alright, so if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Other than that, I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.